Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. I ran out of paper, so we're back with a new thing of paper. It's brand new, all new pages. They don't flip, apparently. We used this entire notebook is just full of movie reviews. This one flips. And it goes all the way back to the beginning with Barbie Video Game Hero. So that's insane. We went through an entire notebook. I had to go out and buy more. And I'm very excited that I'm very excited that the first movie in this notebook is going to be one of my favorites. If it's my favorite movie of all time, believe it or not, it is my favorite movie of all time, and it is Joker. Joker was released in 2019. It was directed by Todd Phillips and written by Todd Phillips and Scott Silver. This movie is simply, in one word, extraordinary. And I'm going to talk a lot about how the movie came to be because I know a lot about it, for one, and for two, I went to go see this movie because of a reason that isn't of my own accord, which is really interesting because if something didn't happen, I would not have seen this movie probably. And I really did enjoy it, and I'm very glad I did. So, Joker, for anybody who knows the DC Comics, is a main Batman villain. And this is a reimagining of it in a different way where it's a different backstory where he didn't like fall on acid or whatever. I don't like DC movies on average. I don't think I've ever liked a DC movie since the Batman trilogy. And this is way above and beyond the Batman trilogy, in my opinion. So the cool thing about this movie was like it never really was meant to happen. Todd Phillips has been trying to get this to happen for a long time, and DC keeps saying no because they don't want their reviews to go down. And the reason they did this movie was because the Suicide Squad got such bad reviews that they were like, all right, well, you can make the Joker film then, but you're going to have the tiniest budget in the world, and if you have negative reviews, it's not going to impact us because it doesn't really matter, and we're not going to introduce it into our DCEU because they didn't think it was going to be a success. The likelihood of seeing a second Joker film and seeing Joaquin Phoenix Joker is extremely low in the future. And it's not because they don't want him to, it's just that that's how Joaquin Phoenix works. Joaquin Phoenix hates franchises, he just wants to be in one solo film and call it good. And honestly, I think I'm okay with that. As much as I would love to see more of Joaquin Phoenix Joker, I'm okay with this ending, and I'm okay with how this turned out. So once he got the film greenlit, he obviously went directly towards Joaquin Phoenix, and Joaquin Phoenix said no for a long time and almost gave up. Todd Phillips almost gave up, but then eventually they allowed him to be part of it. And then they made the film, and the budget was really, really low, like unbelievably low. I think this broke the record for the highest grossing film that had the lowest budget. I also think it's the highest rated R-rated movie of all time. I don't think It Chapter 2 broke the record. I think Joker's still number one, but maybe It Chapter 2 broke the record. I'm not sure. I don't follow a lot of that. I follow the main things. I don't follow literally highest grossing film of all time with the lowest budget. No, I don't follow that specific kind of thing. But Joker was simply fantastic. It doesn't really matter. They're both Warner Brothers, I think, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, the reason I went to see Joker, so for one, I saw a trailer of Joker, and I was interested, but not for the reason that I thought I was interested in. I thought it was like a demented comedy. I did not know it was going to be a horrifying, amazingly chilling, creepy movie. I honestly thought it was going to be a comedy. I did not think that it was going to be this amazing. I was like, maybe I'll watch it when it comes out and it comes to streaming service. And then my friend Charlie, hello Charlie, I don't know if you watch any of these my videos or not. I hope you do. It'd be great. Charlie is a huge DC fan, and so he wanted to go see it. And then the main reason that I went to go see this film, I love to admit it, was because of the controversy. For those of you who don't know what a controversy is, it's when like something gets like kind of sort of leaked or some tiny little statement goes out of whack and then it blows up everywhere. So a lot of people think that a negative controversy has a negative effect on box office ratings, and that is absolutely untrue. Any kind of controversy at all is going to increase ratings and increase box office. And here's why. I went to see this movie because of the negative controversy. The controversy was over violence and its glorification, which is just completely false. Um, if you went to see this movie and you thought that, you're probably a carrot. Um, the main thing about this movie is violence is bad. Like, I don't know how somebody went to see this movie and was like, how come they're doing violence and it's okay? And I'm like, it's not okay. That's the problem. The reason they're doing this violence is because the society is shit, because the government doesn't care about their people. So, if anything, it's a warning to the government saying you need to watch what you're doing, because if you don't, this is going to happen, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Oh, I hate people that take things out of context. Like, it's like Karen went to see this movie and saw, like, the middle of the third of the movie and was like, ah! And, like, didn't see anything else or anything leading up to it. Obviously, it's not saying violence is bad. It's saying that if you put someone in a situation where they're trampled on and no one looks at them and they literally have a mental disorder, and then he finds out, oh, my mother's adopted me and beat me up as a child, like, obviously he's going to become violent. And it is up to us, we the people, to make sure that people do not feel this way about themselves or about others. That is up to you, that is up to me, that is definitely up to the government. And if you think that this movie glorifies violence, you're wrong. It does, in the end of the movie, it has a lot of violence, but it is not violence that is just for the sake of violence. It is violence for the sake of the simple fact that people were not careful with what they said, with what they did towards a person that had a mental disorder. That is why I went to see this movie. I went to see this movie because I wanted to know if it was true. I went to this movie because people were scared. People apparently were like super scared that there was going to be a shooting in the middle of the thing. I don't think there actually was a shooting in the middle of this movie. Like, people were scared that there's going to be shootings in the middle of the movie theaters. I don't think there was a shooting in the middle of the movie theater during the streaming of Joker. Maybe it happened one time. I don't remember. I didn't look too much into it. I'm pretty confident there never was, and it was just this big controversy that people were freaking out over. I went to see it because I felt safe. I love movie theaters, and also it's a movie that doesn't actually depict violence in a good way. I hate people that take. I'm calm. I'm calm. I saw this movie for that reason. And after I saw this movie the first time, I saw this movie in a big theater. I think I saw it here in Oneonta with two of my friends first. And I was so entranced by how wonderful this movie was. It's so well written. And the simple fact that Joaquin Phoenix is just one of the greatest actors in the world. I almost want to say he is the greatest actor in the world, but I think Bryan Cranston is better. That's just personal opinion. Um, Joaquin Phoenix does such a fantastic job. And this movie is so good, and I think he's a big deal of it. And I went to see this movie mainly because of the controversy, and it became my favorite movie of all time. Just simply because of the way that it depicts how easily it is for somebody to turn from somebody who has a mental disorder to somebody who's going to kill a bunch of people. It's a real life story. This is something that could technically actually happen, which is something that I think that a lot of superhero movies kind of suck at. Is like, this can actually happen. Like, when you're watching the Batman trilogy and like the Joker falls into like the vat of acid or whatever and turns into the Joker. No, that's not gonna happen. This can happen. This probably has happened in some cases. I mean, focus. Okay, I'm focused. I'm gonna talk briefly about the actors, and then we will finish up this review and this series. Joaquin Phoenix is Arthur, or the Joker. Best thing in the film. That's all. That's all it needs to be said. Just, if you haven't seen this film, you don't know. But if you have seen this film, you know that he is one of the best actors in the world. Robert De Niro as Murray. Robert De Niro is fantastic. I haven't seen him in anything where he's like old recently. I saw him in The Boy's Life, which is Leonardo DiCaprio's first ever movie, and it was fantastic. And he was fantastic. Um, both those actors did phenomenal. There's a couple other actors in the film, and again, they're all just really, really good. The acting is just spot on, perfect. I don't really care to talk about them particularly because they don't have almost any screen time. I mean, there's Arthur's fake girlfriend. that also did a wonderful job. I don't know her name, but she did a fantastic job as well. I should have probably written down her name so I can tell you about her, but I don't know the name, so my bad. With that being said, I'm done talking about this because I'm frustrated with humans. I'm going to give this movie an A+, obviously. It is the best movie that I've ever seen in my entire life. It is my number one favorite movie of all time. Um, and I think a lot of this was kind of sort of in order. I think the top three is probably in order, except maybe The Devil All the Time might be number 3 or 2. But I've already reviewed it, so I'm not going to review it again. You all should watch that video as well because I really do enjoy that movie. And if you haven't seen that movie, you really should watch it. It is a fantastic movie, and I love it a lot. And it's on Netflix, so it really is just right there. It's so available. It's so perfect. With that being said, follow my Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for more updates, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you join the Facebook group for the most up-to-date announcements and polls and interactivity. I'm going to post questions on there every now and then just to get some feel for what people want to see. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, this is the end of my series. The end of my thankful series. Oh, it's Thanksgiving, isn't it? Oh, it's probably Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody! Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize. I didn't even realize it is Thanksgiving. It's not Thanksgiving for me. It's like the 14th. But like for you, it's Thanksgiving. That's really cool. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. With that being said, that is the end of the series. I'm going to be going back to doing reviews, request reviews, Leonardo DiCaprio, which was a request, Steve Carell, and Marvel movies. Going back on that pattern of just every other. And I hope you guys enjoy those. I will announce my next series now if I haven't already announced it. I will be doing the 25 days, not 25 days, is it 25 days? No, I'm doing 12 Days of Christmas. That makes more sense. I was like, what the hell am I doing? No, I'm doing the 12 Days of Christmas, where I just do 12 Christmas movies. I think I can announce them now. I don't think it's a secret. I don't think it has to be a secret. For those of you who are interested, in order of when I'm releasing them, theoretically speaking, I'm going to be reviewing How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Elf, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Let It Snow, Jack Frost, It's a Wonderful Life, The Polar Express, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, A Christmas Carol, The Christmas Chronicles, which is a Netflix original, and on Christmas, The Christmas Chronicles 2 comes out, and I will be watching that and filming and editing and releasing a video on that movie the day that it comes out. That is my plan. Oof, with all that being said, I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving, and I hope you have a great week. I know that I'm on break apparently at this time, which is nice, so I'm probably having a good week. And I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is always good. Make sure you're staying safe, socially distanced. I mean, really, we're so close to a vaccine at this point. I Some of you may have even had the vaccine by this point, depending on how old you are. But just keep staying safe. We're gonna have a vaccine at some point soon, and then we can go back to doing things live. At that point, I will be doing more live things with other people. I'll be having guests on the show in person. I don't really like doing guests online if I can help it. The one with Julian was fun and it did work out well. It's just the audio isn't always all that great. So I'm hoping to do more stuff in person live once the coronavirus is taken care of. And it'll be great. Then we can go back to going to the movie theater so I can do every Friday. My goal is to do, well, I guess every Saturday morning. Every Friday night, I want to go to the movie theater and see a new movie, and then review it, and then release it on Saturday. That would be my plan once movie theaters are back open, which should be within the next 6 months. So with that, I hope you guys keep watching films, stay educated, and I'll see you guys, as always, in the next video.